Welcome back, my legends, and today we're going to talk about Fuse being a pansexual. Now, this is kind of weird because apparently there's some kind of controversy behind this where some people are claiming that the writers just made Fuse a pansexual to please a certain group of people. And after doing some research, I realized that that's not really the case. And this all started when the EA lore for Fuse dropped. And as you can see right here, it says that Fuse is a ladies' man and a man's man. And so people saw this, and people that understood there's a deeper meaning here, they asked the voice actor and I guess the writers that, hey, does this mean that Fuse in a way might be a bisexual? And Ben actually commented back saying that Fuse doesn't care what kind of weapon you holster if you catch his drift, and everybody in Salvo is welcome. So basically, without really saying it, he was kind of hinting towards the fact that Fuse might be a pansexual, and what happened is that the writers confirmed it. Now, before we move on, I want to clarify some things. Is some people are going to say what is a pansexual, and the way I seen people describe it on the internet and on Twitter, basically pansexual people are attracted to all orientations and identities, so no matter what you identify yourself as, because I guess for Fuse, love is love. So where does the controversy start? Well, because the writers have said that they work really well with the voice actors, and so what I think happened is that the voice actor Ben and the writers talked about the possibility of Fuse being a pansexual, but they didn't want to just come out and say it because in a way that would seem like they're just pandering, like, oh, here's this character we created just to be this. No. So Respawn is careful to make sure that their characters are not one-dimensional, and also they want to create characters that in a way are representative. So what I think happened here is that the writers purposely left clues for people to find, and when people found these keywords, they pretty much started asking questions, and what led up to is that eventually the writers confirmed that yes, Fuse is pansexual. So from all the evidence I gathered and from knowing them from like past actions, it looks like yeah, Fuse was always meant to be a pansexual, but they didn't want to say it. In the writers' minds, I think this was the best thing to do, where they don't say it but they hint towards it. But I guess in this case they just said, you know what, let's just confirm it, which I don't mind. I remember a long time ago that Tom wanted to make Watson originally on the spectrum, but Tom was hesitating in doing it because people told him that she's not a good representative, and eventually Tom came out and said that yes, Watson's on the spectrum because that was originally her character design. So in this case, it looks like Fuse originally was meant to be a pansexual, but they didn't want to make it a big deal because I think they saw the controversy with Bloodhound, so they're like, okay, let's be careful about this. But once people found out about it, they're like, okay, yeah, let's just confirm it, so that way if somebody is a pansexual, I guess they can be happy about it, that they have some representation. Some people have said that why does it matter, like this tweet right here, like, I don't want to say this person is a bad person, but in his eyes, the reason he's saying stuff like this, like, hey, it's just a game, why does it matter? In this case, it does matter because it's very clear the writers wanted to make it where people found out about this via their little hints, so that way when it was confirmed canon, people will feel happy about it. Now, would it change anything gameplay wise or lore wise? I don't think so. From what I've been seeing, it's just a little detail that they just added so people will feel good about themselves, that there's some kind of character that represents them. So this whole pansexual controversy over Fuse is, oh, in all honesty, is a nothing burger. It's just an extra detail that they added to a character that they were hoping people will find out via their clues, and they did. And I honestly hope that a lot of companies try to imply or take notes of what Respawn is doing, because there are shows that unfortunately base their whole character basically on one identity, and when the show doesn't go well and your ratings tank, they just blame it on, oh, I guess people just hate women, which is crazy. So yeah, I don't think the writers did anything like too controversial that people should be outraged over. And if for some reason you still hate the idea of Fuse being a pansexual, then I don't know what to tell you either than don't play Fuse and try to solve those unresolved issues of yours. But this leads me to the most important part of the video, and this is all seriousness. This now means that Fuse touched Caustic on purpose without any consent. That's not cool. And this legend got called many horrible names. In fact, they called him an abuser because Forge touched Bangalore in the waist without consent, which is not cool. Get consent first, people. But for all the clowns out there that were calling Forge an abuser, you owe James McCormick, also known as Jimmy, an apology, which means that Forge did nothing wrong. And so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Still music keeps on turning me from from the words that hurt my soul, removing doubts from my mind. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade